Texas Tech has added some serious talent to the defensive side of the football in the transfer portal. In today's video, we'll go over all of the additions for the Red Raiders in this portal cycle, what you can expect from them, and much, much more. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And listen, if you're excited about what Joey McGuire and crew have done in the transfer portal, like I am, like genuinely impressed and like genuinely excited. I hate that there is 9 months until Texas Tech football plays in 2025. Yeah, I know they play a bowl game here soon, but in terms of seeing these guys play in the scarlet and black, if you're excited just like I am, all I ask you to do is simply like the video. All right. How we're going to break this down is we are going to go in chronological order in terms of their commitments to Texas Tech. All right. And I feel like some of these guys haven't even gotten the respect that they deserve, because it felt like when they committed, almost a minute later, somebody else was. It was crazy. But we're going to just stay on the defensive side of the football, okay? We'll have another video here on the channel talking about all the offensive additions. But just strictly defense, we're going to go in chronological order, and that means we start with Cole Wisniewski, the North Dakota State safety. His 2023 stats were super impressive. He didn't really play in 2024, right? But he set a program record there at North Dakota State and tied a Missouri Valley Conference record for interceptions in a season. He has a high football IQ. He's lengthy at 6'4". And honestly, when I watched the tape of him, I don't know how there was a better defender in the Missouri Valley Conference in 2023. I get the injury side of it in terms of people being worried about that. He should be at 100%, I should say, going into it. But again, 6'4", 210, he's just uber athletic, just flies around the football field, always seems to be in the right spot at the right time, that going back to his high football IQ. And oh yeah, he has elite ball skills for a safety as well. I think he has a really, really good chance to take over the CJ Baskerville role for the Red Raiders in that Shieldwood defense. Next, we move on to a guy that was a former 4-star recruit at a high school and actually has the program record for the program he's coming from in terms of pass breakups in a season and in a career. We're talking about Dontae Balfour from UNC-Charlotte, the DB. He's 6'2", and he was the third portal commitment for Texas Tech. In the second, on the defensive side, he played 2 years at UNC in Chapel Hill before transferring to UNC-Charlotte. He has the career pass-up record in terms of pass breakup record, I should say, for UNC-Charlotte with career marks of 18. He had 11 in 2024 alone. Long-rangey DB, as I mentioned, at 6'2", had 49 tackles, 2 interceptions this past season, isn't afraid to get involved in tackling whatsoever, and is really versatile. And also one of the big strengths in his game is he has vertical speed that can keep up with those really quick and really shifty wide receivers. Even at 6'2", he can do so, and he can play on the inside and outside. And oh yeah, he has pretty good ball skills as well. Again, 11 pass breakups in 2024. All right. The guy that I thought was going to be kind of the belle of the ball in terms of the Texas Tech commitment, maybe he is for the secondary, depending on who you ask, but I thought he was just going to be for the Texas Tech defense overall, when in fact now there's a debate on who the biggest addition was on the defense. And we'll talk about some of those guys in a minute. But this guy, I think, is an absolute bona fide star and was a top 8 corner in the SEC last year. Just turn on the film and you see the reasons why. Of course, I'm talking about Mississippi State cornerback Bryce Pollock. And yes, it is Bryce Pollock. He even said so on his Twitter. It's pronounced Poeloc, like Poe, Dontae Poe, the guy that used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you lock your door. Connect them together, Pollock. There you go. He had 48 total tackles in 2024. He stands 6'1", 190, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and 7 passes deflected in 2024. He's a longer corner who isn't afraid to get physical or really play on an island. This is your best corner. He is a bona fide star, in my opinion. He had multiple offers from other high major programs, including multiple in the SEC. You beat out a couple of Big 12 schools, the likes of Colorado, to land his commitment. He's ranked as the 5th overall corner in the portal, according to On3, and the 25th overall player. He is a bona fide star and a guy that should absolutely shine on the outside in the Shieldwood defense. The next guy in terms of chronological order here. And again, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football, 100% free. My wife is in the other room right now. She's not going to like to hear this number of videos that I put out this month, considering it's December 20th. I read Friday. Thought it was February, but Friday, December 20th. This is the 39th video. I hope she doesn't get mad at me for that. But if you want 100% free daily Texas Tech videos all year long, this is the place for you. And the community is pretty interactive and awesome as well. So join the largest group of Texas Tech fans today by simply liking the video and hitting that subscribe button. All right. Skylar Gill-Howard. I was super excited about Texas Tech landing him, and I still am. It's just unbelievable the depth that the Red Raiders landed on the defensive line, and he was the first one that committed of the trio that we will discuss. He's 6'1", 285. He ranks out, according to PFF, as the number 11 defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman in the country. Not his level of football, the mid-major level, again, coming from Northern Illinois. No, the entire country, okay? He had 51 total tackles, 5 sacks, and 8 tackles for loss. Somehow was only named to the All-MAC third team. Have no idea how. He was the absolute anchor of the Huskies' defensive line, and he was the best lineman, regardless of side of the football, offensive or defensive, in the game where the Huskies upset the Golden Domers, who are in the college football playoff, Notre Dame. He was the best lineman in that game, period. Go watch the film. He's shifty. He gets to the quarterback. He understands angles really well, and he doesn't try and do too much in terms of rush lanes. He's a bona fide star, in my opinion. A really good pickup to the secondary. Another one, it feels like there's one every other second. UTEP DB Amir Boyd Matthews. He's 6'1", 180, has 2 years of eligibility left. His stats aren't going to wow you, but you can see watching him on the limited film why Texas Tech likes him because, again, he's long, he's rangy, athletic, he's versatile. He can play inside or out. He helps in the run game, but also can drop back into coverage and play even some type safety sometimes. But really, he's going to be a DB. He's probably going to be your fourth or fifth best DB on this team, and I think he's going to contribute on special teams as well. But remember, again, you get him for 2 years, so he could be a potential starter for you out in the 806 in 2026, but he'll contribute as well in 2025. All right. Probably the biggest name in the portal that Texas Tech landed because he is the best defensive lineman in the portal according to On3. Lee Hunter from UCF, the defensive tackle, stands 6'4", 320. Texas Tech hasn't had a defensive lineman like this in a very, very long time. He had 45 tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, and 1 sack in 2024. Was named to the second team All Big 12 that year as well. He is a legit game changer. Okay, I said multiple times on this channel that I thought it was a pipe dream that he was going to end up being a Red Raider. Well, he is, and he signed. And now Texas Tech, when you look at it, we got one more guy to talk about in terms of the trio of linemen that they landed in terms of traditional down linemen on the defensive line. I think the Red Raiders have the best trio of down linemen in the Big 12. And that's something you were not able to say for Texas Tech for a long, long time. That is going to be a fundamental strength of the Red Raiders team, not just defense, team in 2025. Lee Hunter is a bona fide superstar at the college football level and a guy that no opposing offensive coordinator wants to deal with for one snap, let alone potentially 75 on Saturdays. Just an absolutely phenomenal get by Joey McGuire, Cody Campbell, James Blanchard, whoever was involved. Phenomenal type stuff. Another one, Anthony Holmes Jr. from Houston, 6'2", 295, one of the best defensive linemen in the Big 12. Funny enough, the aforementioned Lee Hunter, he was first in the Big 12 in pressures, okay? Anthony Holmes Jr. was third, and only 2 behind him. Lee Hunter had 27 pressures, right? Corleone from Cincinnati, pretty good off defensive lineman there, was second, and then Holmes Jr. was third. Again, I'm telling you, the Red Raiders have the best trio of down defensive linemen in the Big 12. I don't know if it's a debate at this point. I really don't. If somebody wants to bring some substantial evidence forward, by all means, but adding Anthony Holmes Jr., I thought was one of the key moves in terms of you have Skylar Gill-Howard, you have Lee Hunter, You probably need that third guy to make an impact so you can rotate guys in and continuously have that pressure from the interior. Anthony Holmes Jr. is that guy. He had 25 pressures, which led all 2027 NFL draft eligible FBS interior defensive linemen. He started all 12 games for the Cougars at defensive tackle. He had a single season high 8.5 tackles for loss. And again, I mentioned he was from Houston. Who was his DC? I'll give you no time to answer. It's Sheil Wood, the new defensive coordinator for the Red Raiders. He knows this scheme very, very well, and it will be a seamless transition for him out to the 806. And I expect him to develop even more in year number 2 of that Sheil Wood defensive set for him. While it's year number 1 for a majority of everybody else, it'll be year number 2. He will be asked to carry a load right there in the middle of that defensive line for Texas Tech, and I think he will do so and be a really, really key contributor. A guy that I was really excited about because I didn't think Texas Tech had a shot. Again, I thought it was a pipe dream, but maybe I should learn from this. There's no such thing as a pipe dream when you have Texas Tech in terms of the continuity and lockstep that everybody in that department and really the program in general were in when it came to attacking this transfer portal cycle. You get Terrion Grant, Purdue DB. He's 6'4", listed as 175. I think he's probably actually closer to 185 now. He's a former 5-star recruit in the 2024 class, actually reclassified to the 2024 class, was supposed to be part of the 2025 class, but he is rated as a top 10 corner in the portal. He will have 3 years of eligibility left, and he is a guy, in my estimation, where is he going to be your best corner in 2025? Maybe. But I think long-term, he has true NFL first-round potential, right? Does that mean he's going to play like that? No, but he has every trait and every attribute a lockdown corner, not only in the college football ranks, but the NFL ranks has. He's long, rangy, he's agile, he's shifty, he has good ball skills. He's a bona fide star, in my opinion. He needs to develop a little bit more, and I think Sheil Wood will get that out of him. But I am absolutely ecstatic to have this guy in the secondary. You think about it. You got Pollock, right? You've got Mo Horn. You've got Grant. You've got Balfour. You've got Amir Boyd Matthews. You've got, Jordan Sanford. You've got Cole Wisniewski. You've got Brendan Jordan. I mean, there's so many guys in that Texas Tech secondary that are younger that are looking to take that step, and I think Terrion Grant will be one of those guys and be an impactful corner for the Red Raiders. And then we finish out the list with an edge rusher. Romello Height from Georgia Tech. He's 6'3", 240. According to On3, he's the 37th ranked pass rusher, or edge rusher, I should say. But if you look at 247, he's the 25th best player in the class in its entirety and the 5th best edge. So we'll go with 247 on this one. He's arguably the Yellow Jackets' best pass rusher in 2024. This will be his 4th collegiate stop. He had played at Auburn, USC, Georgia Tech before heading out to the 806. He is quick. He is very aggressive. He's kind of a tweener. Like, he doesn't have the body type of a Tyree or a Miles Cole. Now, to be fair, few people do, but he's kind of a tweener in the sense of he can drop back into coverage and he's athletic enough to help block a tight end in coverage. But he's also really, really special in terms of his quickness in that first step, and offensive linemen have a hard time of staying inside on him and having it to where he can't get to the quarterback. He can rush the passer from multiple spots, whether that's the ABC gap or the edges, either side. He's really good in terms of timing and understanding how speedy he is. He's a guy that I'm really excited to see, and a guy that a lot of NFL draft people think is a mid to late round edge rusher. He's going to give it 100% in his last season of college eligibility, and I'm glad it's out in the 806. Again, so let's go through the complete list, recap real quick. I know there was a ton of information there, almost 15 minutes long for this video. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Here is the complete list of every defensive player the Red Raiders have added in the transfer portal. And for those that may be wondering, RC, are they done? Joey McGuire basically said as much as they're done. If they wanted to add a running back, which they did, and Quentin Joyner, and then they probably needed to add a kicker, which that should come out here soon in terms of who they land. But on the defensive side, it looks like they're done. So these are the guys that they added in the portal from chronological order, from first commitment to last. We've got Cole Wisniewski from North Dakota State, the safety. He is a 3-star. All of these rankings are either 247 Sports or On3. Dontae Balfour from UNC-Charlotte, a DB, 3-star. Bryce Pollock, the Mississippi State corner, 4-star. Skylar Gill-Howard, Northern Illinois defensive tackle, 4-star. UTEP DB, Amir Boyd Matthews, 3-star. Lee Hunter from UCF, the defensive tackle, 4-star, and is also ranked as the best down lineman in this portal, according to On3. Anthony Holmes Jr. from Houston, defensive lineman, 3-star. Terrion Grant, Purdue DB, 4-star. Then you've got Romello Height, edge from Georgia Tech, 4-star, according to 247. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue chip players added to this defense in this portal class. And for those that don't know, a blue chip is basically a 4 or 5-star. Texas Tech has added 5 blue chip recruits to their defense, and all of them are going to be key contributors for the Red Raiders starting next year. Period. End of story. And now the expectations continue to grow for the Red Raiders. But that is your Texas Tech defensive portal recap. 15 minutes, almost 16 minutes long. Hopefully y'all got all the information there. But one more reminder, if you want 100% free Texas Tech YouTube videos and be a part of the largest group of Texas Tech fans and the largest independent Texas Tech YouTube channel, all I ask you to do to keep the videos free and help support the channel is do 3 things. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell.